All right, if you're just jumping on here, what we're doing is, well, what I'm doing is a test of a kind of an interesting concept. And let me just show you here, and hopefully let me know if you can hear me and as it is it at a comfortable volume, okay? Because like I said, this is a test. So this is going to be a review or just a test, I should say, of I guess you call it full aim. This is a WL1 wireless desktop microphone. You say, what is different about it? Well, here it is. And I'm speaking into it, and you can hear it right now. And I'm monitoring through my headphones, which would be considered a large diaphragm condenser microphone side address. Okay. Some microphones are end address, means you would speak into the end of it. But this one is actually a side address microphone. So let me show it to you real quick. You'll be able to hear me a little bit when I turn it away from me because it has a super cardioid pickup pattern. I mean, think about a cardiologist, you think about a heart, so think about an upside down heart. So it is going to pick up from the side and directly on axis at 0, and it's going to pick up a little bit from the sides. You can hear my voice tapering off as I turn to the side, and that's the what we call the polar pattern of the microphone. And as I turn it to the side, it dies off, tapers off. But as I rotate it 180 degrees like this, you can still hear me. I know I sound muffled, but it's a little node here in the back for supercardioid that picks up a little bit from the back of the microphone. Of course, that's not the quality of sound you want. You want to make sure you face it and get this type of quality. Let me show it to you real quick. All right, so you can see as it hones in, I know you can hear me faintly from that little bit, but if I turn it a certain way, you can see a circle in there on the inside. If I rotate it, there's a good shot. You can kind of see it in there. And that's what we call the capsule, which is actually what is picking up. Inside there as my voice hits that circular uh, diaphragm for a condenser microphone. But what makes this one unique to others is the fact that it is running off of this antenna. Okay. So if I turn this down, actually you'll be able to hear me, and you can see I've got my headphones connected to it. Excuse me. All right. So let's get the focus in on that. Takes just a second. So you can see I'm actually transmitting audio wirelessly right now through this antenna. And I'll show you in a minute where that's going. This is my headphones, so I can plug into that. And then you have USB-C. And then over here, what is that? I believe that has to do with, looks like a phone. You would connect a phone, which may be this deal here, which is that came with it. And that is 3 rings. So that's TRRS, tip, ring, sleeve. All right. So that's one end. So there's a couple ways you can use this. The company sent it to me to try it out and give my thoughts on it. So a couple things. I think it's pretty neat. I mean, you can get condenser microphones every day of the week, but what makes this stand apart from the others is the fact that it transmits wirelessly. Now, at first, I thought maybe it would transmit and it would do so via Bluetooth, but this is not Bluetooth. This is actually frequency, because you can see on the bottom that it is transmitting on, let it adjust there, or focus, I should say. Okay, so it is on a frequency as a wireless, your wireless, excuse me, that pollen's getting to me today, which would be on your wireless microphones at your church, handheld lapels, that type of thing that run off the frequencies. All right. It is, I see Dwayne mentioned, what's the power source, or does it need one? It actually does need a power source, but it evidently has, and I'm looking at the owner's manual right now. In fact, I can fix this to where you can see it if I still have my other. I can hook this up to my phone and give you a better look. Here we go. Let's do that. Give you another view of it. So I'm going to say it charges USB-C. So there would be a, here we go. Let's see if my phone, and I'll give you a better look of it, or view, I should say. All right, so let's go over here. All right, so here's the mic. Well, I'm covering up my voice. Sorry about that. You got to make sure your voice, I may could turn this. No, I don't want to do that. Make sure I got a good connection. All right, so this is the microphone, and inside, again, if I rotate it, I always like to point that out if you could see it. It's kind of hard to see in there right now unless you have a light. Let's use this light as an example, as a background. And you can see that capsule in there, and that's actually what we speak against that gives us the sound. So if I rotate it a little bit, you can see that in there slightly. Wish you could make that a little better, but it's the best I can get it. So we have the power button on there. I got to make sure my phone doesn't block my voice hitting the microphone. There we go. Let's try that. Because you'll think it sounds terrible, and really what it is, I'm blocking the voice with the phone. All right, so right here is the power on off, and I noticed when I plug it in wirelessly, which is actually connected right here. And this is the other end, which is connected USB-A, and this an adapter goes to USB-C. One of them is showing it's getting power via the USB connection. Then the next one in the middle, you see when I'm speaking, that is showing it's getting a signal of my voice. And then number 3 is showing the wireless connection. And that's what I plugged into now, into the Mac. All right, back to this. And on the front, we have this is actually a headphone volume. I was kind of surprised that the microphone doesn't have a volume control on the front, but it actually only the headphone on there. All right. And then if I turn it upside down, you can see you can't hear me as well, but you can see the frequencies it's picking up on. All right. I guess you could change that, the antenna, my headphone jack, USB-C, where I'm sure you would charge it, Dwayne. Over here, looks like a phone port, maybe. And then it looks like another on-off switch. Now, if I turn it completely around, you're going to hear it. It's not going to sound as good because it's not designed that way, but you're getting a little note on the back, and it just basically just has the model number, and I guess that's the company symbol. So and then you have this stand that it comes with. And right now, this is running about $200 on Amazon. It's a new, I don't want to say it's a new technology, but it's new to the market. And that's one of the reasons they sent it to me, to test it out. Okay. All right, let me show you another view here real quick. I'll switch back to my front. And I'm not sure about, let me do something else. Let's take it off the wireless and we're going to try it because I don't know how much of a charge this thing has. Plus another thing, with it being a large diaphragm condenser microphone, if I'm quiet, you can actually hear the room. Because remember, microphones they're not designed to make you sound better. They're designed to pick up sound, and they don't know the difference between the sound of your room and the sound of, the sound source. So Dwayne, as far as the, I've got it since it's wireless now. Let me take it with me over here, and I'll show you the box that it comes in. Because while we're connected wirelessly, okay, I know you see a wire, but that's my headphones. All right, so let's see about this part and look at the box and see what it talks about. Put it back together. Of course, it's a condenser microphone, so you can hear all this noise I'm making. All right. And maybe I'll use my phone again. Hang on. Let's use the phone. And I'll pick up the microphone and bring it closer to my mouth so you can hear me. All right, so you can see this is the back. Really no new information there. On the side, it tells us, I'm blocking my mouth again. Try this. I'm making a lot of noise too, by the way, because if you don't know a whole lot about condenser microphones, they pick up everything. So that's something you'll be tremendously disappointed if you buy one and you're like, man, I can hear traffic noise and things going on outside. And that's because it picks up, and that's just what it does. All right, that's what it's designed to do. All right, so type C driver, and I, as far as hooking to the Mac, hadn't hooked it to PC yet. It does connect driver free. You don't have to install any software. Here it says a cardioid polar pattern with, it filters noise, but see in the booklet it boasts of a, and I might have said that wrong earlier. This is actually, it says a hypercardioid, but by the way, that's spelled wrong. Hypercardioid polar pattern. So that's got me a little confused there. Okay. And this is what we're talking about, the upside down heart. Okay. This would be, if we took it this way and placed it like that, that's how it's picking up. So it's going to pick up better from the front and then reject noise from the back. But it does seem like when I turn it all the way around, it is picking me up just a little bit there. So I don't know, it might be a little confusion about, it shouldn't pick up from back here. We hear my fingers right now. If it is a true cardioid pickup pattern. So I don't know. But if it was me, I don't know of anybody, unless you're doing different things and you know more about it, you really don't need any more than a cardioid pickup pattern. All right, so cardioid, and then it says here stable, tiltable support, adjustable angle. So that's this pretty, heavy, substantial base to it. All right, that can be tilted. All right, that helps you align it correctly. And then, oh, here we go, Dwayne. Built-in high-capacity lithium battery. Built-in headphone amplifier, listening volume, independent control. And then here it says UHF encrypted wireless audio transmission. So it's not Bluetooth, it's UHF frequencies. All right, and then let's see over here. It's got people, all right, video conferencing, like Zoom, and then Sing if you feel spunky like this guy does. Or, all right, live broadcast. which is kind of interesting. Sometimes let's see if he's even using it right. If it'll focus. He's probably got it backwards. Okay. Now, I wouldn't say long distance transmission, Dwayne. I would say within the room, which I'll look here in a minute, esports, acoustical instrument. Okay, picking up, we've got a MIDI controller there or something like a bass or guitar, whatever. Okay. All right, let's switch back. So let me know what you think about the tone of it. And probably I should ask this at the beginning. How is the volume? See, I now have it at the correct position to my mouth, which is a little low. If I set it up here, it's going to give the best sound because any microphone is designed to be closer to the sound source. And this is without any processing in real time or, of course, any post, because this is live stream. So this is what it sounds like right out of the box. All right. And let's see what else we can find out from this here. It says quality is fine, volume is fine, no distortion. Okay, and like I'm doing right now, it's transmitting wirelessly. There is a way to connect it. And in fact, let me do that. Let me connect to this. It does, I mean, you can use the wireless. I mean, wires don't really bother me, obviously, but I guess for some people, well, I guess when you hook into your phone, maybe. It's got this cable, which is, once it focuses, there it is. One end USB-A, the bigger one, and then USB-C. So let me go ahead and connect that way. You may lose me for just a minute, but hang on. Let's connect and see if there's a difference in the sound quality when we stop going wireless. Let's see here. I don't want to disconnect something that's important. That's not important right now. And let's plug this one up directly. Now I'm back, and this is when I'm plugged in. When it's not wireless, when it's wired. Okay, so now I do have the USB-C connected to USB-A. Let me know if that sounds any different. My headphones, maybe a touch, but not enough probably to adjust my headphones a little bit. Quit touching the microphone, get all the handling noise, as we call it. Let me know what that sounds like. Is there a difference when I'm connected wirelessly versus when I'm connected, with the cable, USB-C to USB-A? If there was a difference, it's very subtle, if anything. So let's switch over to the phone again. So now I'm connected USB-C, which is also how you would, and I noticed when it's plugged up USB-C, it's blue, and when it's wireless, it's purple. Yeah, I would agree, Dwayne, that it would, have a slight different tone to it. It would be hard to not change the tone a little bit wireless. Now, I think this might, like I said, I guess some people don't like the wires, but I like wired things. It's less it can go wrong. But you see this device here, which is pretty interesting. See if it'll focus. There it goes. So that's the USB-A to USB-C adapter. Okay. And then this would be USB-C to the device here to connect it to. And I guess that would be the beauty of it. You could connect to several things, which would be your computer, laptop, PC or Mac, iPhone, okay, iPad, and you could transmit wirelessly. And so on this one, bring it to my phone, I'd probably have to take the case off to connect that. I could connect it to my iPad and use it that way. And I guess in a way it would be nice to have a cleaner looking desk maybe. Or I know this microphone, any microphone is going to sound better if it's closer to your mouth like that. So I know it's got a tabletop stand, and if I tilt it up and speak over it, that's got a pretty good tone. But notice if I bring it closer, that's even better. So if I could take it off this stand, which I know I can, and put it on like a boom arm like this, and hang it above me, then I know it would, sound better. Of course, you have to watch for plosives, but what I do is I would tilt it off axis and speak, across it, not directly into it like this, but off to the side. That's something to think about. I thought I need to get this thing done, this review, and just wanted to see what you thought about it, see what you think about what questions you would have about it. And I don't know, it seems like a good microphone. Like I said, it would run you about $200 on Amazon as of right now. So it's kind of a newer, introduced on Amazon. The I guess you say full aim. There it is. Wireless desktop microphone, not Bluetooth, wireless. Okay. So you wouldn't have any cables. You hook your headphones directly into the microphone, which is good. Some people say sometimes, why do I wear these? I wear these so I can hear myself, to make sure it's at a listenable level, and so that I can hear myself. You say, well, you like the sound of your own voice? No, it's not about that. It's about making sure you're speaking at a comfortable level so you don't have to strain your voice. Okay. It is monitoring the audio to make sure I can tell if I get a little closer, it gets a little louder, or if I'm too far away, or if I drop something like that. All right, let's see what else it does. And it comes with these frequencies. Let's see if that'll focus. It didn't focus, but before I just noticed it said cardioid directional noise reduction, but then it says hypercardioid. There really doesn't seem to be anything else that really stands out to me about it. I mean, if you was just to connect it to your computer, and this would be considered a USB microphone, which there's nothing wrong with the USB microphone. The only other thing that really stands out from any other microphone, I mean, you can buy them all day long. It's just the fact that this is a wireless. It's wireless, or it could be used as wireless. Okay. Now, the next thing would be if you went to the next level of microphones. I'm looking for an example here. Let's use this one. Then you would go to a Xlr microphone, which this is not. All right, that's a XLR, the 3-pin, what we see in our churches. But for that, you would need a separate device like this to get it into your computer, which is an audio interface. So it goes in the front, and then that would be XLR, and then it would transfer it on the back on this side to USB-C. So it would take a analog signal and turn it digital. But with this is basically what we call plug and play. You just plug it right in to your computer and start talking into it. You don't need an audio interface. But kind of having an XLR microphone is a little more pro level, so to speak. So appreciate you hanging out with me and let me know about this microphone, and we'll write up a review for it and perhaps do a video review on it as well. But I mean, it seems to have a good tone, and I, of course, hadn't taken over to software and really tested the fine tuning of the audio after the fact. But I mean, it picks up well. It sounds good to me. Test, test, test. Yeah, it picks up a little bit back here from the back. Makes me think it's the hypercardioid. I think earlier I said supercardioid, but hypercardioid polar pattern. All right, thanks for hanging out with me and helping me, and we'll see you soon in the next video or live stream. Take care now.